100 videos over the past 2 years. Greetings, gamer. Welcome back to my game room. You know, as with anyone who has ventured forth into this YouTube world, I look back at some of my earlier videos and yeah, they're not too smooth. And that's true of everybody. But through the acquisition of some newer, better technology, a lot of time spent learning and experimenting, and of course, plenty of thanks owed to some of my professional friends who have helped me out with things like lightings and f-stops and different composition hints, and plenty of insight into how best to do the post-processing. I've improved. I hope you agree with me. Of course, there's always room for more improvement, and I hope to continue down this path in the future. But meanwhile, I thought with this 100 video landmark that I might take a little time to get retrospective here and look back at some of these videos, and thought I would start by going through the number of views per video and kind of see what's the most popular. I realize that anything that's been around more than a couple of months is going to get more hits than the newer stuff. I've been doing it for 2 years, so I've got a couple of things that are nearly 2 years old now that have gotten an awful lot of hits. And I think that's not just a reflection of their age, but also the popularity of the subject matter. Now, the most popular video in the series is the Bog Chal video, which kind of surprised me. I didn't think Bog Chal was all that popular of a game, but apparently it is. A lot of people are looking at the Bog Chal video. So much so that we decided that we would come out with Big Bog Chal. Basically, it's exactly the same game, same content and everything, but we put it on a larger board so that it's a little bit easier to get your fingers around the pegs as you're playing. Both games are the same, but we've got the little travel version, I guess you might call it, that goes with the entire Peg Pastime set, and now the bigger version that is a little bit easier to play. Now, in second place, we find La Tronculi. La Tronculi is also known as Ludus La Tronculorum. It's an ancient Roman game. There's actually 2 games in the same box here. There's one game that's more like an expanded version of Sega, and another game that is more of a head-to-head annihilation game and a combat sort of a confrontation. 2 games in one. And of course, you can read more about it and see more about it in the video. All these links will be in the show notes down below. La Tronculi. In third place, we find Morabaraba, which recently somebody told me that it's actually pronounced Morabaraba. I'm not sure, but if you have any insight into that pronunciation, let me know. It's been very popular, and I've been pleased to say we've heard from several different nations down in South Africa that play their own versions, have their own naming conventions for the game. Now, my medieval reenactor friends will tell you that this is 12 Men's Morris, and it is 12 Men's Morris. But outside of Europe, it's Morabaraba or Morabaraba. Now, next on the list is a game that doesn't surprise me a bit that it would be popular with the gaming circles. This is the Royal Game of Ur. That's one of the oldest games known to mankind. Right from the outset, when we first released this game, it was a very popular seller and a very popular video. So much so that we decided to come out with a larger version. This is our Deluxe version. And the Deluxe version actually has a full color board in it that more closely resembles the original royal game that was found in the Sumerian tombs. Again, we have the travel version, which is very handy to have on a bookshelf and fits the rest of the Peg Pastime series. And they also have the Deluxe version with a full color board that is closer to the original artifact from 5,000 years ago. And rounding it all out is the game of 5 lines, also called Pentagrammai. It's an ancient Greek game from BC. Nobody's really sure how old it is, but artifacts date way back. And anyone that the Greeks traded with has a version of the 5 lines game. And it also has features of a lot of other games that evolved over the centuries. 5 lines is a very popular game, and therefore a very popular video on my channel. Now, I'd like to make an honorable mention, if I may, out of the top 5. This is the top 6. Konane has not racked up the views that I thought it would, but it is the game called sometimes Hawaiian Checkers. It's not really checkers, but it does definitely hail from Hawaii. That video is gaining in popularity all the time, but it has been a really good seller as far as our catalog is concerned. We sell a lot of them to Hawaiians, so that's a good sign. So popular, in fact, that we are producing Konane Master. Konane Master is not only larger, but it also has more spaces on the board, the traditional configuration, so that people who have played Konane before will be more familiar with this. But again, it's a larger, what you might call a coffee table size version of the game. And of course, we still offer the travel version for those of you who would like something more portable. It's been noted by some commenters that they watched one of my how-to videos and says, well, that's not the way we play it. This is the nature, especially of historic games, that they evolve over the years. Everybody's house rules begin to take hold, and there's lots of different ways to play some of these games. If you see me describe some rules that don't quite fit with what your understanding is, or you have another source of information, please share it with me, and we can all learn a little bit from that expanded knowledge base. So I thank you very much for your comments thus far. And so that's my 100 videos video. And again, I appreciate your patronage, and please keep coming back, share it with your friends. Be sure to click a subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll be continuing to share game information, game how-to, and we'll do a little Q&A maybe one of these days as well. So thanks for tuning in, and like I always say sometimes, be sure to play every day.